Can I help?
Last night was enlightening. I hope to learn more next time.
I'm all ears. Sorry. I was lost in a memory for a moment there. Looking for something? Need something? Ah, yes. Shuffle time. Let's see if we can even the load. Finally. Let's get out of here. Last one to the ship is a rotten Prasada berry.
If you get into trouble, Barrett, you know where to find me.
You got it, my friend. People are motivated by all. See that huge shield? It's part of the power system. Lightning provides a substantial amount of Neon's energy.
Keep moving. The scanners won't hurt you.
You need to move some more if it's too hot to handle. If you got the money or the goods. Done here? Time to move on.
Then let Ryujin Industries help you get there.
Ever wonder how the prince
The Astral.
If you don't... Hello there! Let me know if you need anything.
Sure, I have everything you need to explore the settled systems.
Brightest of today for our future.
Good to see ya. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Bad part of town, buddy. I'm gonna do you a favor. Head back to Bayou Plaza before the disciples get you. We gotta look out for each other, right? Us crate rats used to think the Ebbside strikers were awful, with all the muggings and shakedowns, but now that they're on the ropes, kinda wish they weren't just holed up in Madame Sauvage's. Streets are getting bad. Real bad. I mean, yeah, they'll rob you blind, but at least they let you live. They're bad news, but compared to disciples, positive angels. Well, you'll find them at Madame Sauvage's. They're always holding auditions, as they call it. Looking for new blood. So, for being so helpful, a chance for a donation. Come on, might be saving my life. What with the disciples and all. Have a heart. Hey, thanks. Look, I mean it. Go back to the plaza. Ain't nothing but shit and misery over here.
Got a problem? What'll it be? You lost, kiddo? Yeah, well, make it quick. I ain't a fan of loitering. I had some high hopes for this shop back when my husband and I opened it a while back. These days, if you ain't a regular, you're usually trouble. Of course, something happened. Ain't that always the case? Let's just say those hopes died a long time ago, and there ain't no reviving them. We'll see about that. Solomon thought a small convenience store with cheaper prices would make a killing. Of course, the only killing made was when he got himself shot in a robbery. Now it's just me running this place, so you can see why I'm not a huge fan of strangers in my shop. Mostly tied up in those good-for-nothing gangs. Those disciples and strikers always fighting over who gets to run the place, and not giving a damn over whose lives they ruin. I may not be on the main strip, but I make enough to keep me afloat. Lucky for me, my regulars are a devoted crew. Take a look. Until next time.
Hey, Dusty. If you're ever thinking to yourself, I could really listen to Barrett's dulcet voice right now. Then instead of dreaming about me, stop by and say hello, okay? I've been meaning to thank you for helping me with the Crimson Fleet before. I could have handled it myself, of course, but it's good working with a team. It's good to be part of a team, isn't it? To be part of something so much bigger than any one of us. So many things can go wrong out there. Working with people you can trust is important. That's why I've been in Constellation so long. It's good to have people who will help out when you're in a jam. Just wait till we get matching shirts and start having official cookie days. They're one of humanity's greatest achievements. Modern medicine, space travel, and cookies. Constellation is quite pro-cookie. Because, you see, we value human accomplishments. Speaking of which, your work with Constellation has been impressive. Truly impressive. Just figured I'd mention it, since we haven't had much time to chat before. You know, being a member of Constellation has given me a lot of opportunities, and a fair bit of stress, I'll admit. It's hard to imagine just who I'd be had I never joined up. I would have never done so many things, met so many people. It's mind-boggling how different I would be. And I never would have met Irvin. Or lost him, I suppose. Irvin Madani was my husband. He was also a brilliant biologist who joined Constellation a couple of years before me. Yeah, he's gone now. I remember his bright smiles when I returned from my trips. Wow, more brilliant than any star. That's right. We can't know the consequences of the choices we never made, and anything beyond that is imagination alone. But for the choices we made, it feels just a bit closer, doesn't it? Irvin's been gone for over 20 years. Strange how memories can pop up when you least expect it. Oh, I've been giving myself nothing but space and time for years. But maybe it's time for me to really think about it. Well, maybe I'll take you up on that offer later on, Captain. I need some time to think about things. On that note, I think I'd do well to distract myself with a little adventure for a bit.
I'm so behind on my work.
You're in the Vanguard, right? Shit.
Got the friend mining on.
Just one quiet day. That too much to ask for?
Look, I ain't gonna stand around here all day, right? You want the stuff or not?
I'm still interested when you're asking almost double the going rate.
What? You think this stuff falls from the sky?
Look, I've
Good?
Hey there.
Still cheaper than buying it at the end.
Okay, hello.
Now,
What a city, am I right? Love the vibe in this city. I'm a free spirit, yo. A wanderer. I go wherever the wave takes me. But if there's two places I vibe with most, it's the bars and the market. Aurora's my mistress, but fashion's my heart, so I'm always checking in on the latest trends. Think so? I know people say the trends here are manufactured. Just more megacorp, technorati bullshit putting commercials in the sky. But the corps can put up 1,000 billboards, and they still won't define what lights up the street. We do. When I was a kid, my parents used to dress me in these old man sweatsuits because it was all we could afford. But even then, my sense of style was always there, deep in the marrow, you know? It got so bad I started cutting up my clothes to make my own. When I finally could afford some new threads, it was like meeting my soulmate in person after a decade of loving her from afar. Diosdado's my dad's name, and his dad before him. I used to go by Trey, but when the old man passed, I decided to do him a solid and wear the name without the neck. Even back on Sol, my ancestors were island people. And Volii Alpha being an ocean world, I feel their spirits with me. Peace!
You looking to get zoned? Yeah, you know, dusted, glazed, frosted. Hi. If you aren't here to buy some Aurora, then what the heck do you want? Yeah? Well, if I had a credit for every time I heard that line, I wouldn't be stuck working in this place. So, I'm guessing you're the rook that Delgado sent. Well, let me save both of us some time. Turn around, fly back to the key, and tell the big boss that I'm in no mood to screw around. We'll make this deal when he starts taking me seriously. Come on, give me a break. You're not exactly a top dog over there at the key, now are you? Sending me a rook to handle a job this risky is a goddamn insult. And I'm getting tired of the fleet not taking me seriously. I spent the last 3 months setting up this job, burned 2 contacts and a hell of a lot of credits. The whole time, I'm also keeping Bayou off our backs. That idiot even catches a whiff of money and he latches onto you like a damn leech.
I've dealt with Bayou in the past. He's got a clear set of goals, I'll give you that.
Yep, just like a couple of Model A's. Program us, point us in the right direction, and watch us go. I don't have a ton of time to stand here and screw around, so I'm gonna make this as clear as possible. You want the conduction grid tech, then you're gonna have to download it from the power core of Generdyne's facility in the underbelly. Some fancy name the brain-trusted Generdyne calls the room where all the power from the conduction grid is stored. Cute, right? Hey, don't look at me. I didn't build the damn thing. All I know is that the tech inside the place is valuable. Beneath your feet, genius. It's the lowest level of Neon. Generdyne and Xenofresh are down there, along with some of the finest cuisine in the city. I'm talking about Generdyne's main power plant for Neon. All their cushy offices might be up in the trade tower, but the nuts and bolts of their operation are running beneath the city. Love the confidence, but before you pull the ripcord, I'm afraid I need to add a bit of a wrinkle. While you're inside Generdyne, I need you to plant a virus into their system. It's a simple side job that'll earn you some credits. I think you can handle it. The elevator doesn't exactly go to the top floor in that head of yours, does it? Everything in the Crimson Fleet is accomplished through a decent helping of give and take. As in, I'm not going to give you the information to get your precious data unless you take this virus and upload it like I asked. Well, well, look at you. You're smarter than I thought. Generdyne has all sorts of tasty, valuable snacks in their databanks, and I want access. Here, take this microdrive and access the computer in Brayson Bayou's office. It'll do the rest on its own. It might be wireless, but you aren't going to be able to use it from here, genius. Generdyne's got their place locked down tight, but as usual, the weak link comes from the people that work there. I recommend you start with Ayumi Komiko, an upper-level exec at Generdyne. Get your hands on her security pass, and you'll have the run of the place. You should be asking what won't you need it for. The facility is closed to the general public, and they keep all of their important files encrypted. Not to mention the fact that there's gonna be all sorts of nasty security inside you're gonna want to bypass. The catch is that Komiko's having a little fling with Benjamin Bayou. Anyway, you can find Komiko at Euphorica. Talk to the owner of the place, Micah. She'll point you in the right direction. As for dealing with Komiko herself, She's got an office in the trade tower if you're looking for something incriminating. The rest is up to you, Rook. When you're done, come meet me at the VIP booth in the Astral Lounge so we can celebrate. Pretty laid-back club over in Ebside. Owner's name is Micah. She's young, but sharp as a razor, and has gang muscle to back her up. The little Aurora Lounge she has tucked away in the building is the real gold mine. Said she modeled it after opium dens on old Earth. Bayou takes a cut of the profits, of course, but rumor says it's way less than he usually takes. No one knows why. Businesswoman, tough as hull plating. She's the COO at Jennerdyne, and I can assure you she didn't get there with her winning smile. As for her relationships, well, that's a bit more complicated. Publicly, she's having a bit of a fling with Benjamin Bayou. But rumor has it that she's just using Bayou and having a little bit of fun on the side with Micah, the owner of Euphorica. If I were you, I wouldn't bother trying to appeal to her good nature. She's a manipulative person who uses people to get what she wants. Nepotism gets him the job at Jennerdyne as their chief technician, yet the guy doesn't know the first thing about electrical engineering. They obviously invented the position just to give the moron a salary. One of the many poorly kept secrets in Neon. Frankly, I think he's such a screw-up. Benjamin Bayou stuck his ass in that facility under the city to keep him out of the limelight. Not much to tell, really. Thanks to their nifty little conduction grid, they're able to provide power for the entirety of Neon. Damn thing was supposed to be some kind of miracle invention, turning lightning into usable electricity. Neat trick, right? Only catch is that you need a planet like Voli, where lightning strikes often enough to make it feasible. Guess how many of those exist? Ding! If you said 0, you're absolutely correct. So Jennerdyne has been in dire financial straits for years. It's that hideous canopy over the center of the city that keeps the rich folks dry. Some folks around here call it the Span. I think it's a massive eyesore, like some sort of a modern art piece gone haywire. You can't miss it. Just poke your head outside and look up. Loaning them credits? No, that's not how things work around here. The only reason they haven't folded is because they charge exorbitant fees for power. I'm talking 2 or 3 times what it costs in New Atlantis. Okay, now, on to round 2 of our little game. Guess who has a major stake in Jennerdyne and soaks up all that delicious profit? Ooh, not even close. The answer you were looking for isn't another corporation. It's a person. It's good old Benny Bayou. That son of a bitch has a finger in every single pie in the sorry excuse for a city. Jennerdyne's no different. All off the books, of course. How the hell do you think Brayson Bayou got the job down there? It wasn't because of his good looks or smarts, I can promise you that. Watch your step. Benjamin Bayou has eyes everywhere.
Try a velocity yet?
Ebside's a bad place for trouble.
Expertly crafted. You live in the rarefied air above the stars.
private sector.
The settled system's premier financial institution.
Benjamin Bayou's Tower. It's big, all right. Not sure what else it is, but the Astro Lounge spared no expense with their marketing, huh?
Yeah, what? Is this important? I'm really busy right now. Let me save you some time. If you're here for a job, we're not hiring. If you're here about the conduction grid tour, we shut it down a year ago. Good. If you were, you'd be the 12th person I've turned away this year. What a waste. Look, I'm sorry if I'm blowing up at you. But I've got a ton of problems and no time to deal with them all. I'm afraid that things aren't going terribly well around here. I don't care if I'm allowed to or not. I'm happy to get this off my chest. The conduction grid went online almost 75 years ago. And since then, we haven't developed a single groundbreaking innovation. At this point, the money we're taking in as a power utility barely covers the waste that's going on in the research and development division. Unfortunately, no. I'm in third on the corporate ladder. One step above me is Ayumi Komiko. She's the COO of the company. And then there's Kaito Harada, our esteemed CEO who never seems to be around. No, of course not. We still produce smaller power systems and backup generators, but nothing even close to the magnitude of the conduction grid. Genodyne needs to come out with something spectacular to put us back on the map. If not, we'll remain stagnant forever, or worse. My superiors seem to only be concerned about themselves. The problem is that Brayson Bayou, Administrator Bayou's brother, is currently heading up the R&D division. I swear to you, the man doesn't know the first thing about power systems or electromagnetic technology. I can give you 117 reasons. Our employees. If Genodyne goes completely under, how many of them will lose their jobs? How many might get cut in a restructure? My position puts me in charge of the welfare of our personnel. I can't in good conscience allow that to happen to them. Isn't it obvious? Administrator Bayou clearly leaned on Ms. Komiko to get his brother hired. It's nepotism in action. I actually need our CEO's approval for that. And so far, it's been denied. Look, I'm running out of options. No one above me seems to care what's going on, but I'm willing to take a chance. I have a full report on Brayson that I want to send to Administrator Bayou, but I don't know if he can be trusted. What do you think I should do? It describes my aggravation with how badly Brayson Bayou is running the Research and Development Division. I'm also including a list of all the failed experiments he's greenlit, and how much they've cost Genodyne as proof of his incompetence. I'm praying someone as financially successful as Administrator Bayou might be able to put aside his ego and look at this from a business perspective. You know what? You're absolutely right. I can't allow Brayson to run this company into the ground. Hey, look, thanks for helping me out with this. It's been on my mind for a long time. If there's anything else you need, any questions at all, feel free to ask. The span above the city is outfitted with a specially developed electromagnetic absorption system. When a lightning discharge hits the span, the energy is instantly distributed across the grid to prevent overload. The energy is then transferred through a series of polyphasic capacitors and rectifiers to ensure all of the negative and positive strikes are equalized. At this point, the energy is clean, and it gets stored in massive storage cells in Neon's underbelly, from which it's parceled out and used for power. That's an excellent question, and the answer for it is surprisingly simple. The conduction grid is only effective in lightning-rich environments. That's why Volai was chosen as its primary development site. Genodyne has always hoped to adapt the grid's absorption technology for other applications, but nothing public has ever been announced. Genodyne was founded in 2232 by the original designer of the conduction grid, Felicia Corbin. Working from her facility in Neon, it took her almost 25 years to get the conduction grid up and running. That was Genodyne's first and last major success. As long as it doesn't get me into serious trouble, ask away. She's my boss. She's fine, I guess. Look, like I said, I don't want to get into serious trouble. She might be a bit tough on all of us, but being responsible for Neon's power grid is a very stressful position. Sometimes that stress trickles down. I've only been working here for a few years now, and she's been my boss the entire time. Well, the big boss is our CEO, Mr. Harada. But I've actually never met him. He lives somewhere in New Atlantis, I think. Whoa. Okay, that's crossing the line. I can't discuss company matters like this. I hope I can trust you. I mean, it might be okay. I'm trying to be reasonable here. Okay, listen. You didn't hear this from me, but I know she's up to something with Benjamin Bayou. He was in her office a few weeks ago, and they had some kind of shouting match. It got really heated until Bayou stormed out the door. I don't know what it was about, but I happen to know Miss Komiko keeps audio recordings of all her meetings in her safe. And before you ask, yes, I'll unlock it for you. Just don't tell anyone I helped, okay? Because I'm sick and tired of the corruption that's running through this city. People around here spend half their lives terrified about being backstabbed, and spend the rest of it planning on how they're going to screw over someone else. Something rotten is going on in this company, and one day, I hope to find out what it is. Sure, no problem. It was great speaking with you.
Can't talk. I've got a deadline coming up. I don't have time for this. Talk to my secretary if you need something.
Keep it moving.
Haven't met our CEO, Mr. Harada. Me either. He's never around.
even if you can't break this system's security. This was a good attempt.
You're out there a lot, right?
Financial institution. Have you tried one of our advanced teller machines? One of our distinct coffee flavors, all brewed using the secret techniques of nature. You? Yeah, you. You're really going to walk on by? And miss out on a chance to
Okay, let's settle this once and for all. Velocity or Chimera?
stay that way.
You kidding? Chimera, all day. Why do you think I'm here?
I don't know. Chimera's nice, but
I like coming here.
that will get you
Lets me
half.
forget everything else for a bit. See, you just proved my point. Down your third velocity, and you're out cold. By the third Chimera, you're floating on frickin'
Welcome. Please, make yourself comfortable. I can offer you a drink, or perhaps you're here seeking access to our members' lounge, where you can enjoy your Aurora experience in peace. No, no, not this again. You people should leave her alone. What do you want with her? Not that it's any of your business, but we're very close. We're in love. I refuse to let anything bad happen to her, no matter how much trouble she's gotten herself into. Yeah, sure. Tell me another one. You debt collectors are low-life assholes. She's broke, okay? Now get out of my club before I get really pissed off and have you thrown into the street.
It's nothing personal, friend.
The Crimson Fleet? Oh my, I'm sorry. I had no idea. I didn't mean anything by it, really. Sorry, well, I worry about her. Ayumi owes a lot of money around town. I'm trying to help her out, but, you know, I have a business to keep afloat. If you want to talk to her, you can find her in the members' lounge. Of course, access to the lounge is going to cost you, and I'm not changing my mind about that. Excellent. Then here is your access key. Please let us know if anything in the lounge interferes with your comfort. Enjoy your stay.
Looks like you need to relax.
Anything I can get to help you relax?
Howdy. Yeah. What do you want? Before you continue, let me save you some time. If you're having a problem with your POW or a complaint about your rates, you need to contact our customer service department. Anything else? You must be zoned out of your mind, because there's no way anyone sober would say something like that. The Crimson Fleet, huh? This is interesting. So tell me, what does Delgado need with my Pastor Generdyne? So, let me get this straight. You want me to sneak you into Generdyne so you can steal the only profitable piece of technology the company's come up with in decades. If you expect me to take a risk like that, then it's going to cost you some major credits. I see there's no fooling you. That's still worth something, though. So pay up, or no pass. How the hell did you find that? It was Estelle Vincent, wasn't it? That bitch. I knew I should have kept that somewhere else. Here, take this pass. It should get you through the storage room entry to the facility. I'm warning you, though. Once you're inside, you're trespassing in a high-security zone. That means they shoot on sight. Good luck. You're going to need it. I suppose if I don't explain, a copy of that recording you found might end up on the next SSNN report. Okay, fair enough. A few years back, the previous CEO of Generdyne went missing. As the COO, I was next in line for the job. Instead, Bayou muscled his way into the company and gave me an ultimatum. Either back up his bullshit Mr. Harada identity, or I'm gone. I had no choice. But I decided right then and there, I was going to do whatever I could to take what was rightfully mine. If that meant seducing Bayou to tip him off balance, then so be it. Luckily for me, Mike has been incredibly understanding about the whole thing. What do you think happened? Bayou started sticking his nose into Generdyne's business, all but outright demanding a cut of the profits. In response, the CEO made a huge mistake by threatening to take his grievances to the FC. His shuttle never arrived. Need I say more? Micah is the only person in this godforsaken city that's kept me from going completely under. She doesn't want money, doesn't use me for influence or as a stepping stone to get ahead. She loves me for being me, and I love her for being the same. And when this stupid bullshit is over, and Bayou is 10 fathoms deep under Neon, we'll be there for each other. Forever. If you had to work with Grayson Bayou, you'd understand. The man is still a totally incompetent fool, and he's running our company into the ground. The worst part of it is that he's Administrator Bayou's brother, so I can't fire him. I can't reassign him. I can't even yell at him. It's like having a cut on your body, and you're helplessly watching yourself bleed to death. Except in our case, we're hemorrhaging money. What is this? A job interview? I'm the COO of the company, second to the top, right under our esteemed CEO, Mr. Harada, also known as Benjamin Bayou. So when you ask me what I do for Generdyne, the answer is nothing. The Bayous run the show, and I tread water. The salary helps, of course, but at the end of the day, I'm just a joke. Sitting in an office to make things look legitimate. Keeps him off the Freestar Collective's radar. They might actually step in if they discover that the same person controlling the city's regulations and bylaws benefits financially from them. If you haven't figured it out by now, Benjamin has a stranglehold on the city. You can't take a piss without him charging you after flush. Try and get in his way, and then he uses neon security to beat you senseless, or the Sioga Syndicate to make you disappear. If you get caught in Generdyne, that's on you. Good luck.
Take it easy.
Rather be doing this than getting mixed up with the gangs.
Here's where the magic happens. And by magic, I mean creating Aurora out of fish guts, I guess.
People joke, say those Varun zealots worship a snake. Let me tell you, it ain't a snake. It's some kind of celestial.
Is that another one of the experiments? Well, I was just trying something. Hey, are you making fun of my cooking?
No. I just don't want a repeat of your spider au gratin. I can still taste the cheese with that lovely crunch of chitin.
Ah, my God. You're never going to let me live that down, are you? Want to try something exotic? Hey there. Welcome to Off-World Eats. Feel like taking your taste buds on a trip around the settled systems? Well, thank you very much. My husband Lee and I have spent years sourcing the most interesting foods from other worlds. You can't find this type of cuisine anywhere else in Neon. We're very proud of our specialty menu. Well, that was our hope, but it hasn't worked out that way. Turns out that our little niece has also created our biggest hurdle. In order for this business to work, we need an ever-evolving menu. To do that, we need to constantly source ingredients from across the settled systems. Ever since we sold our ship, it's been difficult. When we first arrived, we needed every credit we had to open the restaurant. We kept the ship, but our pockets were empty. Then the bills started piling up, and we had to shift from paying for jump fuel to just keeping the doors open. After a while, it was obvious that keeping a ship we can't even afford to operate was a waste of money. So we sold it. That's how we're operating right now. It's terribly expensive. La Tora, you're not here to listen to my life story. You're here to eat. Well, let me stop talking so you can take a look at the menu and dig in. So, what will it be? Please do. There's a lot to choose from. It was great to see you. Come back soon.
I used to be an actuary. Now.
Oh, yes. Hello. Hello. I'm sorry if I sound rude, but would you mind coming back later? We're actually closed right now. I just forget to pull down the shutters. I'm afraid so, but I don't really want to talk about it right now. Perhaps another time, when I'm feeling up to it. I'm afraid not, but come back tomorrow and perhaps I'll be strong enough to speak to you. Right now, I can't. Huh? Oh, goodbye.
Everybody works the best when they're scared and tired, right?
I can't do this!
Now you're gonna get it.
Oh no, this is bad.
Everybody works the best when they're scared and tired, right? Don't touch those cables unless you want to become part of them permanently. this happens.
So, what's on the menu for tonight? Chunks or troll?
Actually, I thought I'd splurge and head over to Off-World Eats.
Well, you're in for a treat. Last time I tried one of their off-world specials, I had terrible stomach problems for days.
Yes, the entire facility was well aware of your stomach problems.
I wish they had these emergency social avoidance networks in every building. This battery array has got to be the old... part of Neon, the heart of the city.
sure you don't want Administrator Bayer hearing your opinion?
Watch it! Ah! Eyes burning!
Grayson's still in his office. The laboratories. I need to finish this third batch of experiments.
Oh, it's you. I was wondering how long it would take you to get down here. If you want the encryption cipher, you're welcome to it. I just don't want anyone getting hurt. When you access the computer in the power core, it sends a notification to me here. I knew you were coming, I just didn't know when. No catch. I'm not trying to trick you. You want the cipher? It's yours. At this point, I'd do anything to get back at my brother. He deserves everything he's got coming to him. Oh, don't patronize me. I know I'm no prize winner myself, but at least I don't spend my days trying to screw everyone over. You know, I've spent my entire life living in Ben's shadow. Everything always works out for him, while I've been bouncing from one job to the next, barely keeping afloat. And all the while, he laughs at me behind my back. Thinks it's hilarious to make fun of his stupid brother. Like I wouldn't eventually find out.
Sounds like what old Benjamin needs is a good punch in the nose.
One advantage to being perceived as stupid is that no one takes you seriously. When I walk into a party, I'm instantly the resident social pariah. But my eyes and ears are wide open. I can't tell you the number of times I've overheard that my brother has spread amusing anecdotes about his stupid brother. That wouldn't do any good. For every scheme he's gotten himself into, he has a bulletproof exit strategy. Man's virtually immortal.
He's been able to avoid consequences so far, but this could be the end of it.
You know what? I am sick to death of being pushed around. It's my turn to take control for once. The passcode for my terminal is GEN-41A18. That should give you access to the cipher and whatever else you need. I'm getting out of here while I still can. After you're done, I suggest you do the same. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, I'm at about, I don't know, a -8. I don't have the background for this electrical engineering stuff. Chief technician? It's ridiculous. Ben stuck me down here expecting me to work miracles. He didn't stop for even a second to think of the repercussions. That's so typical. All I need is one breakthrough. One. And I could shove this job right in his face. Damn, that would feel good. By redeveloping the distribution requirements of the grid. That might actually work. I mean, it could take years to get a solution, but at least I'd have a solid goal in mind. All this time I've been trying to develop something new, and it's been staring me in the face for years. Oh man, that is so like me. Thank you for giving me that kick in the ass I needed to get going. Because he's a two-faced son of a bitch, that's why. It's not like I should be surprised. When we were younger, we never got along very well. I mean, he's 11 years older than I am. We had 2 different mothers. Might as well have been from 2 separate families. That's an understatement. I never knew my actual mother. She was my father's mistress. And I was told she vanished from Neon when I was only 2 years old. Ben's mother, she didn't give a crap about me. Wouldn't even let me call her Mom. I just had to call her Liliana. Can you imagine? And then there's Dad. So buried in the day-to-day operations of Neon, he didn't have time to pay attention to his bastard son. Yeah, I've tried, but I always hit a dead end. It's as though she was here one day and suddenly vanished the next, and then her existence was erased from everyone's memory. I wouldn't be at all surprised if my father had her killed to avoid public embarrassment. That's the kind of man he was. Yeah, everyone's sorry. Just as sorry as I am. Look, I appreciate what you're trying to do, and it's nice to get this off my chest, but talking about it isn't gonna change a thing. That's why I gave you the encryption cipher. Anything I can do to stick it to Ben, that's the real therapy. Do me a favor and don't tell my brother we talked. He, wouldn't like it.
Keep your nose clean. Last thing I want is to charge you for it.
Ah, there you are. What kept you? I believe we have a lot to discuss. It's obvious you're here to meet someone. Fortunately for them, they rented this VIP room under a false name. I assume that same someone provided you with that clever little virus you installed into Genodyne's systems. All too well. You know, I should give credit where it's due. That virus is quite impressive. It will cost me tens of thousands of credits to remove. That's the last time I'll ever take the Crimson Fleet's capabilities for granted. Because, like the majority of revenue-generating businesses in the city, I have a vested interest in Genodyne's profits. But more importantly than simply losing money, I don't like anything in my city being interfered with without my approval. Probably. But do you want to know why that's not going to happen? It's because I don't negotiate with pirates. They don't understand commitments or contracts. how to get the deal done with finesse. No. For your kind, it's only brute force and violence. Shoot first, take whatever you want, and ask questions later. That's not how I do business. It may seem that way, but for every rival I've had thrown into the ocean, I've made 2 times as many legitimate deals. Look, I'm not here to debate. I'm here to make an offer. All you have to do is tell me who's profiting from the virus you've uploaded. In return, I'll let you leave the city alive.
I've always appreciated that you get right to the point, Bayou.
You don't have to worry about that in the least. You point me to our little mole, and I'll do the rest. You don't even have to get your hands dirty. Really? That's the story you're going with. Very well. There's a body that Neon Security is going to be discovering very soon. One with concrete evidence that links you to the murder. I'd say you have about 1 hour to leave this place before you have a price on your head.
Murder? Even for you, that is remarkably low, Bayou. You must be very, very worried.
So, I assume this concludes our little arrangement, and you'll be leaving our fair city. Oh, when you get back to the key, be certain to give Neva and Delgado my warmest regards.
Hey, Captain. Can I talk with you for a bit? I've been thinking a lot about my early days in Constellation lately. Got me pretty nostalgic, and I started digging in some old things. Just sort of reminiscing. I found some of Irvin's last messages to me and thought I'd listen to them again to hear his voice. It was surreal, honestly. So, most of the messages were everyday things. Lots of excitedly written news about biodiversity and plant life. But one thing stood out. In one of his messages, he mentioned this job that he took at a mine shortly before he died. He said something terrible was happening there. But the message was garbled after that. True, but this was different. I recognized this pattern from the war. A portion of the message was encrypted. Well, Vasco helped me decipher it. Turns out the message was from Irvin, and he was begging me to help him. The message was short, but his voice was pained. He was so upset. No, he was frustrated and angry. He said they were going to destroy his name. He said they were going to destroy his life if he didn't leave the planet now. Then he asked me to help clear his name. Said they had a case against him. Oh, he sounded so upset. Yes. Hearing his voice in so much pain was very difficult. Oh, I wish I had noticed this message when he sent it. So in this message, Irvin said he was being framed. He said they'll do it again. He asked if Constellation could send more help. His former employers had some job he took before he died. I think it was a mining company. Not exactly sure, but he mentioned a court case. So I think there's a paper trail. No, I just thought it was garbled. I just wasn't paying attention. I don't know. It is, but I was thinking about it and, well, it's still wrong, right? So I figured, hey, I can do some sort of a remote investigation here, see what I can find out. There's gotta be a paper trail, right? Now, I happen to have a trustworthy contact who knows a bit about law and owes me a favor. I'd need to pay in advance in case there are any access fees or bribes. That works. I'll tell them to go ahead with the investigation. You know, hearing Irvin's voice again made me want to help him, even though I know I can't. Does that make any sense? I appreciate that. It's going to be hard to get some sleep tonight after all this. But the fact that I'm doing something about it might be enough to help. Hopefully poking around in old records doesn't catch the attention of Hephaestus. Well, anyway, I'll let you know if my contact finds anything.
Epside's a bad place for tourists these days.
Toss back one of our exclusive velocity cocktails.
Hey, I'm busy. You want the good stuff? Try somewhere else.
Love your fit. It may not work for some, but you wear it like a champ.
Glad you're back. Sorry about the whole Benjamin Bayou thing at the Astro Lounge, but I didn't have much of a choice. Can you believe the nerve of that smug son of a bitch? The man is priceless. So I've heard. Throwing yourself under the bus like that. Ouch. You are one crazy son of a bitch. That might help you sleep at night, but doesn't do me a hell of a lot of good. Since Bayou flagged the virus, I can't risk accessing the system now. All that work I did trying to crack Generdyne is gone. Now I'm in a bit of a bind. The prep work for this job put me in deep for a bunch of cash, and I have no way to pay it all back. Well, a business partner of mine named Nix was the author of the virus. Don't know if you know him or not. Then there's the folks I paid to keep an eye on Ayumi Komiko, a few of the guards at Generdyne. Like I said, it was a huge job. Honestly, I shouldn't be revealing my sources because that puts you on their radar as well. But hey, you asked. That's pretty cool of you to offer, but I know what he's gonna say.
Sorry, Estelle. This was your scheme. You're on your own.
Believe me, he's not gonna be much help. Look, I was hoping you'd pick up on what I was trying to ask. What the hell with it? I'll just ask. Can you cut me in for a little bit of cash you're making on this job? I mean, I did get you inside and practically hand you the data on the grid.
Sounds reasonable enough to me.
I appreciate that. I really do. Having each other's back is what makes the fleet stronger, you know? How much are you willing to part with? Wow, that's way more than I expected. I had no idea you'd be so generous.
The squeaky wheel gets the grease, that's for sure. Thanks for all your help.
All right, I guess we're done here. Tell Delgado if he ever needs me for anything else. I've still got his back. And hey, you won't be hearing Rook from me anymore. As far as I'm concerned, you're one of us now. Lifeblood of the fleet. If anyone tries to tell you otherwise, you send them to talk to me. Completely ruined? Nah. I was hoping it would stay on Generdyne's mainframe for the long term, but hey, at least it's already fed me a huge amount of data. Nix really knows what he's doing, though he charged me about 6 months worth of earnings. With any luck, I'll be able to recoup my costs in no time. I hear things are heating up back at the Key, so I might fire up my bird and head over to check things out. Rumor has it that Delgado has some solid info on the Crix's legacy story he's been hawking for the last few years. If there's even a chance that it's true, I want to be there when Shinya Voss starts splitting the loot, if you catch my meaning. Now, how did I know you were going to ask me that? Honestly, doesn't matter if I believe that Crix's legacy exists or not. What's important is that I believe in Delgado. If the man thinks that chasing shadows is gonna make us rich, then who the hell am I to judge, right? I mean, I'm not gonna jump off a cliff for him or anything, but hey, he needs an extra ship at his side, he's got it. Just watch your ass. Benny isn't exactly gonna be tickled that you've been talking to his brother.
Airlock integrity looks good.
Hi.
All hell's breaking loose, Rook. Delgado needs you in the repair bay with Jazz as soon as possible.
I am dissatisfied with the results.
Respect! That's why you're here? Look around you. The only reason all these losers are here is to earn credits or die trying. When I feel like you've earned it, I'll stop calling you Rook. Right now, we've got a crisis on our hands. Oh, it's bad. Real bad. Delgado will fill you in with the details. Now get your ass to the repair bay. Go!